verify whether min-max and maximum value are equal, then that itself is called the value of the game, that is the saddle point. For the player A it is A1, for the player B it is B1. So the optimal strategy is A1 and B1. Find out the column maximum. So in first column, the maximum value, and there are two 1 values. You can take first value or second, third value. 1 is the maximum value. Maximum and minimum values are same. So this problem has a saddle point. Hello dear students, welcome to this session of our Operation Research class. I am Mr. Niranjan, Faculty, Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Now, in my previous class, we have discussed regarding how to find the saddle point of a game. So, in this session also, I am going to discuss regarding the problems based on game theory, how to find the saddle point of a game. Now, let us come to this problem. Solve the game whose payoff matrix is given by. Now, let us consider the given problem, the given matrix, 3 rows, 3 column, 1, 3, 1, 0, minus 4, minus 3, 1, 5 and minus 1. So, here the player A is A1, A2, A3 and player B is B1, B2 and B3. So, what is required to find is to find the saddle point of this game. That's it. To find the saddle point is to be determined here. Now, let us as usual we know find out row minimum and column maximum. Find out minimax and maximum value and verify whether min-max and maximum value are equal, then that itself is called the value of the game, that is the saddle point. That's it. What is to determine first? First find out row minima. Now let us write down row minima for this. Row minimum. Then here column maximum. So here we have to find row minima and here column maximum. Let me take, I will go to the next page. So I will write this here. This is the given matrix. What is the matrix? A, player A, player B. So A1, A2, A3. Here it is B1, B2 and B3. Let me write the values. What are the values given? 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1 and 0, minus 4, minus 3 and 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, minus 1. These are the values. Now, first find out row minimum. Let us come to row minima. What is row minima? In this, the minimum value, there are two minimum values. One, let us consider any one value. One is the minimum value. Here also, what are the values? So, the minimum value is minus 4. Row minima is minus 4. In the third row, what is the minimum value? It is minus 1. Okay. So, in first row, the minimum value is 1. In second row, the minimum value is minus 4. In the third row, the minimum value is minus 1. Now, after finding the row minima, just find out the maximum in this row minimum. Find out the maximum value. So, that can be written as maximum in minimum value. That is called max min value. What is the maximum value? 1. 1 is the maximum value. So, the maximum value in this is plus 1. Now, let us come to the column maximum. Find out the column maximum. So, in first column, the maximum value, and there are two 1 values. You can take first value or second, third value. 1 is the maximum value. Whereas in second column, 3, minus 4 and 5, the maximum value is plus 5. And in the third column, the maximum value is plus 1. So, 1, 5, 1 is the maximum value. So, here we are going to find the row minimum. Here we are going to find the column maximum value. Okay. Now, after finding the column maximum, we are going to find the minimum in this. Minimum in maximum value. Min-max value. So, minimax value we are going to find. So, find out the minimum value in this maximum. So, minimum value is 1. There are two 1 values. We can consider the first. So, minimum value is 1. See, here the maximum value is 1. Here the minimum value is also equal to 1. So, therefore, we can say maximum is also equal to minimax is equal to 1. So, therefore, the saddle point of the game is equal to 1. That's it. So, the value of the game is 1. The saddle point is equal to 1. That's it. So, very simple. See here, find out the row minima. In first row, the minimum value is 1. second row the minimum value is -1, and in third row the minimum value is -1. And whereas find out the maximum value in this first column, second column and third column, the maximum value in column number 1 is 1, column number 2 is 5, column number 3 is +1. So here in row minima, find out the maximum value, max min value, the maximum value is 1. And whereas in column maximum, find out the minimum value is also equal to 1. So therefore maximin is equal to minimum, minimax is equal to 1, therefore the saddle point of the game is equal to 1. What is to determine next? After finding the saddle point, the value of the game, it is required to determine the optimal strategy. Now the optimal strategy for the player A and player B. So for the player A, so the optimal strategy for the player A is equal to A1, and similarly the optimal strategy for the player B is equal to B1, for the player B is equal to B1. So these are the optimal strategy for the player A and A1. For the player A, it is A1, for the player B, it is B1. A1 and B1. So A1 for the player A and B1 for the player B. Okay, these are the optimal strategy for player A and B. That's it. Okay, hope you followed. Now let us come to the next problem. Now determine which of the following 2% zero sum game are optimal strategies. Now we have to determine which of the following problems will have the optimal strategy. So there are two problems, one -5, 2, -7, -4, and 1, 1, 4, -3 for the player A and B. Now let us come to the first problem. We have player A and player B. Here, this is first one. What we have? -5, 2 and -7, -4. This is player B. This is B1 and B2. Player A, A1 and A2. Now as usual, find out the row minima and column maxima. Now find out row minima for this. Row minimum is -5. Here it is -7. Now find out the maximum value, that is maximin. Maximum in this is -5. Now let us come to the column. So row minimum, now it is column maximum. Find out column maximum. The column maximum in first column, maximum value is -5 and the maximum value is +2. Find out the minimum in this, that is nothing but minimax. Minimum in maximum value. What is the minimum value? Minimum value is 5. So this is 5 and this is also 5. That means maximin is equal to minimum. Maximin is equal to minimax, that's equal to -5. So therefore the value of the game saddle point is equal to -5. The value of the game is minus. So this first problem will have the saddle point as -5. Now we have to find out the optimal strategy for the player A and the player B. That's it. Okay. Now therefore this problem has the saddle point. This has the optimal strategy, and therefore the optimal strategy for the player A is A1, for the player it is B1. So therefore optimal strategy for the player A is A1, for the player B it is B1. So for the player A it is A1, for the player B it is B1. So the optimal strategy is A1 and B1. Okay. Now second one. So let us come to the second problem. Problem number 2. So this is player B1 and B2, A1 and A2. What are the values? 1, 1, 4 and -3. As usual, find out the values, that is find out row minimum first. Row minimum. What is the minimum value? 1. What is the minimum value? -3. And find out the maximum value here. Row maximum, like this. That is find out maximum in minimum value. Maximin. So the maximum value is +1. Similarly, find out the column. This is row minimum. Here column maximum. So find out the maximum value in the first column, it is 4, and the maximum value in the second column is plus 4. Now, after finding the column maximum, what is required to find is minimum in this maximum, that is called minimax value. Minimax value. Minimum value is 1. So, therefore, maximum and minimum values are same. So, this problem has a saddle point. So, maximin is equal to minimax is equal to 1. So, therefore, the saddle point of this game is equal to 1. And determine the optimal strategy. What is the optimal strategy? So, here the optimal strategy for A is A1 and for B1 is it is also B1. So, optimal strategy for A is A1 and similarly for B it is B1. That's it. So, A1 and B1 are the optimal strategies for the player A and B. That's it. Okay. Hope you followed how to find the saddle point and the optimal strategy for the player A and the player B. That's it. Okay. Let us come to this problem. Solve the game whose payoff matrix is given by. So, we have to find the saddle point, that's the value of the game. Now, the player B, B1, B2, B3, player A, A1, A2, A3 and A4. As usual, find out the values of row minimum and column maximum and find out minimax and maximin value. If they are equal, then the value of the game is nothing but the saddle point. And we have to find the optimal strategy. That's it. Now, here, first write down the maximum value. So, just find out row minima and column maxima. Okay. Then find out the saddle point. That is nothing but minimax is equal to maximin value. If these two are equal, then we are going to get the saddle point. I will go to the next page. I will write here. So, the values are 2 minus 1 8, 2 minus 1 8, minus 4 minus 3 and plus 4, minus 8 minus 4 0, minus 8 minus 4 and 0, then 1 minus 6 minus 2. This is player B1, B2, B3. This is A1, A2, A3 and A4 for the player A and for the player B. Okay, now let us find out row minimum. Row minimum here. Row minimum. What is the minimum value? Minus 1. What is the minimum value? Minus 4. In the third row, the minimum value is minus 8. In the fourth row, the minimum value is minus 6. Find out the maximum in this minimum value. Okay. So, maximum in this minimum value. What is the maximum value? Minus 1. Minus 1 is the maximum value. Now, let us find out column maximum here. Column maximum. Maximum value in the first column. First column maximum value is plus 2. And in the second column, the maximum value is minus 1. Okay. Next, in the third column, the maximum value is plus 8. 2, minus 1 and 8 are the maximum values. Now, find out the minimum in this maximum value. Minimum, that is called minimax. Minimum in this maximum value is minus 1. Here it is minus 1. Minus 1. So, what do you say from this? Maximin value is equal to minimax value, that's equal to minus 1. So, maximin and minimax is equal to minus 1. Therefore, the saddle point is equal to minus 1. Hence, the optimal strategy for the player A is A1 and for the player B is B2. So, the optimal strategy for the player A is A1 and optimal strategy for the player B it is B2. That's it. Okay. A1 and B2 are the optimal strategies for the player A and B. That's it. Let us come to the next problem. What is the next problem? Solve the game whose payoff matrix is given by. So, we have to find out the saddle point. That's it. So, what is the given for player A, A1, A2, A3. For player B it is B1 and B2. 9, 2, 8, 6 and 6, 4. So, this is a 3 rows 2 column matrix. Now, let us find out 3 rows 2 column. Find out the row minimum first. As usual, find out the row minimum. the row minimum, the minimum value in the first row is 2 and the minimum value in the second row is 6, minimum value in the third row is 4. 2, 6, 4 are the minimum value. So, after finding the row minimum, find out the maximum, that I will write here. Now, maximin value. What is the maximum value? Plus 6. The maximum value is plus 6. Now, come to this column. In the column, find out column maximum. Column maximum here. So, here it is minimum. For the column, it is maximum. In the first column, the maximum value is 9. In the second column, the maximum value is 6. Now, after finding the maximum value, find out the minimum in this. Minimax. Minimum in this maximum value is 6. So, 6. So, see, maximin and minimax are same. Maximin is equal to minimax. They are equal to 6. Therefore, the value of the game saddle point is equal to 6. 6 is the saddle point. The value of the game is 6. Now, hence, the optimal strategy for A is A2 and for B it is B2. So, therefore, the optimal strategy for A, for the player A is A2 and similarly for the player B it is B2. So, A2 and B2 are the optimal strategies for the player A and B. That's it. Okay. So, this is how we are going to find the saddle point and value of the game. This is very simple concept. You may expect one question either for 4 marks or 5 marks. 2 simple questions for 7 marks or one problem, one simple question for 4 marks or 5 marks. Okay. This is how we are going to solve the problems in a game theory. So, these are few examples to find the value of a game whenever the saddle point exists. In the next session, I am going to take few more problems where the saddle point does not exist. So, such problems can be solved using different method. So, that we will see in the next class. So, that is all regarding today's session. Let us meet with the different concept in the next class. Thank you very much.